Hey guys, welcome back to some more Geoguessr. I'm going to be doing a slightly different style of video today, a solo video, which I haven't done for a little while. So you can see here I've got some maps saved from specific countries. I've got a balanced Russia map, AI Gen Indonesia, a balanced Brazil, a balanced Philippines. Now these four countries have been the ones that I've been trying to get better at because A, they're all pretty big countries, I guess Philippines less so than the others. And B, because I wasn't really that good at any of them before starting to learn, meta details about them and also just stuff about the geography of the countries, how they look. So these are the four countries I've been trying to get better at, and I will say to differing degrees of success. But what I'm going to be doing today in this video is trying to play through. I'll do Indonesia first. Trying to play through some maps and just explaining some of the knowledge I've learned and hopefully showing that off. I might do very badly. It's very possible. We'll have to wait and see. Round time, I'm gonna 1 minute because the reason I'm learning all of this is to be better at duels. And 1 minute is the timer for duels. So I'm gonna go no move, panning and zooming, 1 minute timer. So essentially playing a no moving duels game. So I'm going to hit start game on this AI Gen Indonesian map. And let's see how much I embarrass myself. I've got to say, the first location, not one I'm confident on. So there's such little to go off here, which is cool, because I want to ideally point things out and show what I've learned. There's nothing here that I can really cling to. What I'm going to do with this one is go with Java, because Java's a pretty good guess. It's pretty central. There's a lot of coverage there. And this one is relatively flat. It's not like super mountainy like a lot of Sulawesi is. Again, so there's not much to go off here. But Java has good coverage. It's fairly central. So I'm going to go Java, central. I normally go to like central West Java if I don't know much else. Somewhere near Purwokerto. Okay, see, that didn't work out so well. That was West Kalimantan, but I don't really feel too bad about that because there was so little to go off. Let's try again, round two. Okay. We have a utility pole here, which is it's a little bit strange, but it does look like an asymmetric pole, which helps a little bit. Now, the roofs of the buildings are sheet metal. They're not tiled, which pretty much rules out, well, we shouldn't be on Java here, from what I know. This is an interesting one. I'm kind of torn with the combination of these poles and the roofs and the landscape. I'm kind of thinking this could be Sumatra, but also could be potentially somewhere in Kalimantan. I think I'm going to go with Sumatra here. I'm far from confident. I'm going to go somewhere fairly central in Sumatra and hope for the best. Oh, Sulawesi. See, this is hard. Indonesia, despite the things I know to be better, it's still very hard. So it might take me a few rounds to actually show that I've learned anything. Okay, again, asymmetric utility poles. I don't think this particularly helps me. No, nothing on this sign that really helps me. The roofs, again, are sheet metal. Yellow line is interesting. You don't see yellow line much in Java. It's something I've learned. So we're probably not on Java. But apart from that, this is interesting. Is this a map or something? Like maybe perhaps a south coast map? There's like water here and land here. So could we be on the south coast of somewhere like Sulawesi maybe? This could be like South Sulawesi with these poles and these roofs. Yeah, I'm gonna go for somewhere southern Sulawesi. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find this exact location. No, but I'm gonna go around here. Interesting. Well, that's one I was never getting. Boots on Island. So that was a map. I guess I wasn't too far away there. That's not too bad. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a location on this island before, so I certainly wasn't going to guess there. I'll take that. It's a little dog. Now, this appears to be a location where there's just such little, again, to look at. I'm going to go with Java again for similar reasons as round number one. It's like, it's like, not super flat. There's a lot of coverage on Java of roads just like this. So, well, East Nusa Tenggara, again, wasn't going to go there. So, for some context, when I do these rounds, what I usually look to aim for is a score maybe close to 10,000. If a good game for me is like 12,000 plus. And an okay game is somewhere close to 10,000. This has not been a good one, as you can tell. So, this last round, I'm not really too sure, I'll be honest. Satellite dish doesn't really help much. Satellite dish can help you work out which side of the equator you're on, but that's not really a huge help in Indonesia, I guess. It helps a little bit. But again, sheet metal roofs. This time I think I'm going to go with Sulawesi. Or maybe, looking at this landscape, I'm thinking more Sumatra. Yeah, I'm going to go with Sumatra. Somewhere pretty central again. Java, interesting. I'm surprised with those sheet metal roofs. In Java, you tend to get tiled roofs more than sheet metal. I guess this is only a small town, so I shouldn't be too surprised. Okay, so my first game, 4,000 points, not good. I'm just going to go again and hopefully do better. Okay, I already feel better about round number 1 here. And the reason for that is these trees, these oil palms. At least I think they're oil palms. They're definitely palms of some kind. I think these are oil palms. If you see large amounts of these in like one area in Indonesia, that usually means one of a few places. The one I'm going to be guessing is up here in Riau near Pekanbaru. I know there's loads of areas surrounding Pekanbaru that have oil palms. Another area is up here near Medan. You get quite a lot. Down here near Palembang in South Sumatra and towards this coast as well. There's lots of oil palm areas. You also can find them in areas in Kalimantan, I think fairly south and maybe west as well. But when I see a location like this, with this number of oil palms, I'm going to go with somewhere near Pekanbaru. Okay, that worked out well. 4,200 points in round 1. That's already pretty much... That's already more than I got in the entire first game. So that's a good point to start here. This one, I'm really not too sure. This is weird. They're growing something. Might be corn, I'm not sure. A lot of coconut. I think these are coconut palms. Again, definitely palm trees of some kind, but those don't really help me. These hills are interesting. I don't really know where to go here. I might go with Java as a safety guess, but this could be quite a few places, I think. I don't think this is something like Sulawesi, but I can see this being maybe Kalimantan or Sumatra. But because I don't really know any better here, I'm going to stick with Java. That was Northern Sulawesi, Gorontalo. Gorontalo, yeah. Wow. Did not expect that. I know Gorontalo is pretty... It comes up like semi-frequently in this. Fair enough. Fair enough. Good round 1, bad round 2. Round 3. Now we have tiled roofs. This feels like a Java. Now, when you get tiled roofs like this, again, Java is the most likely. It doesn't always mean you're in Java. You can get them some areas in Sumatra, especially like Lampung and I think some of South Sumatra. I think there are some areas in like South Sulawesi and maybe South Kalimantan where you can see tiled roofs as well. But a location that looks like this and the tiled roofs to top it off, I think I have to go somewhere in Java. Oh, something else to mention. You can definitely get tiled roofs on Bali as well. I don't think this is Bali. The architecture doesn't feel like Bali, neither does the landscape. So I'm going to go fairly central here in Java. Okay, pretty good. Over 3,000 points for that one. Not bad at all. Round number 4. Are those tiled roofs again? I think... Oh, I'm not sure. That there's some sheet metal roofs that kind of look like they're tiled, but they're not actually. Even if that is a tiled roof, I'm not going to be going Java here because of the yellow line in the middle of the road. I've only seen this outside of Java. I think I've seen it on most other islands in Indonesia, but on Java, I don't know if I've ever seen a yellow line in the middle. Now, there's not much else to go off here. No utility poles to work with. I think I'm going to be going with Sumatra here. Maybe like South Sumatra. And just in case this is a tiled roof, like something like South Sumatra or maybe Lampung could make sense here. I like South Sumatra here. I'm going to go around here. That was Java. Interesting. So, now I've learned a lesson about the yellow line in the middle of the road. You can definitely get that on Java. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, round number 5. This is interesting as well. I think this is Java as well. This roof over here definitely appears to be tiled. This landscape, pretty flat. Some crops growing. I don't know what most of this is. Some long grass. This just feels, this screams somewhere in central Java to me. Maybe like central east. Some mount. It's not like completely flat. There's some mountains in the background. Yeah, I'm just gonna send Java here. Wow. I'll be honest, that is the most surprising one. Yeah, I'm shocked that wasn't Java. Okay. I'm going to do one more game of Indonesia, because that one was better. 8,000 is a decent score. But I'm going to try one more. So these utility poles are interesting. These appear to be symmetrical. This one appears to be, like, less symmetrical. This one is very interesting. There's like a little gap between the horizontal bar and the insulator. This is one where I'm struggling. Java feels tempting, so does Sumatra. Yeah, these insulators, I don't know if I want to call them... They're not quite symmetrical, are they? They're not totally symmetrical, but they're close, which is weird. I'm not really sure what that means. I can see this being somewhere like West Sumatra. I could also see this being somewhere like East Kalimantan. I'm gonna go with East Kalimantan here. Really not too sure on this one. Okay, that was Sulawesi. Slightly surprised by that, but there are some places in South Sulawesi that aren't super mountainous compared to most of Central and North. A decent round one. Okay, obviously, these roofs are definitely tiled. This just feels like an absolutely standard Java, which means it's probably going to be Lampung. It happens a lot where you see something that looks so obviously like Java and it ends up being Lampung, because Lampung just kind of looks like Java. Hopefully that's not the case here. Let's find out. Nope, that was Central Java. 4.5k in that round. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, again, we've got some palms here, some oil palms, I think. We've also got symmetrical utility poles. So I'm wondering, I might just go with the typical near Pekanbaru because of the palms. What I'm thinking is possible, though, is somewhere like West or Central Kalimantan, but that's a little bit of a scary guess for me. It could be there, but I'm gonna stick with my instinct and go. I'm gonna move slightly, but just there's not too many palms here. I'm not gonna go with Pekanbaru. I'm gonna go with somewhere like I think in between. I think Sumatra was the most likely guess here, but I'm gonna go somewhere between Palembang and Pekanbaru. So I'll just go somewhere like Jambi. Hope for the best. It was Jambi. That was a nice hedge. Okay, good game so far. 3 rounds gone, just under 10k scored. This is more like it. I'm glad I did one more. However, this round, not really much for me to go off. The utility poles are asymmetrical, which means if this is Java, it's going to be East or Central or East Java. But I don't think it is Java. I like Sumatra more here. Utility poles don't really help too much with Sumatra for me, unless North Sumatra has a very specific utility pole, which is not this one, so I'm not going to be looking there. This could be somewhere Central or South Sumatra. Could also maybe be somewhere like East Kalimantan, but just because there's more coverage on Sumatra than Kalimantan, Sumatra feels like a better guess here. So I'm gonna go kind of near where we were before. I'm gonna go Jambi again, actually. Ah, it was Central Kalimantan. I knew that was a possibility. But that was a bit of a tricky one. Okay, on to round 5. Obviously, we're in a city here. It's not really much to go off. No utility poles. I mean, the roofs obviously look to be tiled, which means I'm going to go somewhere on Java. I'm just going to go with my usual guess of Purwokerto. I like it as a central guess on Java. Yeah, I'm just going to send that. Okay, fair enough. That was just Jakarta. That also makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that I thought a good score is like 12,000 plus for me on this map. So a 12.7k I'm very happy with. Feel like I got to demonstrate some of my Indonesian knowledge. Not all of it, but some of it. And I will take that for now. So I'm going to move on from Indonesia. And I'm going to go to, I think, the country I've improved at the most in Geoguessr, which is Russia. The main reason for that is because of the antenna on the back of the car. So I've memorized most of those pretty well. So this is an interesting one to begin with. If you showed me like a still of this, I wouldn't have even said this is Russia. Okay, so the antenna is blurry. That's interesting. That rules out blurry and long. Oh, this is a tricky one to begin with. I don't like this. Should we be somewhere down here? With how these trees look as well? Ah, I'm really not too sure here. A blurry long antenna can mean a few things. I think it can mean you're on... Can it mean Sakhalin or does it mean Kamchatka? It means one of these areas. It also means several areas to the east as well. It also means Khanty-Mansi, this oblast here. But I'll be honest, I don't think we're in any of those, so I'm quite confused here. I'm going to go with somewhere to the south. The antenna, I'm just kind of ignoring the antenna here and saying we're in South Russia. Okay, we were in very West Russia. Oh, was that the autumn coverage? I think it was. That would explain why the trees looked like that, why the coverage looked like that. There's some Gen 3 coverage in Russia that was done in autumn. I know, like the Kaliningrad coverage looks like that. And I know there's some areas near the border here that look like that too. So I think that's what that was. Bit of a tricky round 1. I don't see that coverage very often. Round 2, we are in a city. We have this is a long A-type antenna. Which means, what does that mean? It means a few things. This means we can be, so this antenna is typically found very far east, like between Khabarovsk and Vladivostok, and also up this road too. It also can mean very far west, like up, like the Leningrad Oblast around St. Petersburg, and north, this bit here, the Karelia Republic. There's a few other areas it can mean as well, like Novosibirsk, southern Chelyabinsk Oblast, potentially down here too. This area, it's just a city. The plants and stuff, the vegetation makes me think this could be in the Far East. So that is what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go somewhere around here. This could be very wrong. I'll be honest. It is very wrong. Okay. So, okay, Kurgan. I'll be honest. I didn't think that antenna worked for that. But you know what? I'm still learning new things all the time. Kurgan Oblast with that antenna. I'm surprised. I am. But, you know, that's fine. On this one, the antenna is short. This is a short A-type antenna. Which, okay, there's 3 main areas that the short A-type antenna is found in. One is down here near Krasnodar. One is over here in the Orenburg Oblast, next to the border with Kazakhstan. And one is, I think the third one is the Kaluga Oblast, just here. Now, of those things I've just said, to me, I think this could be near Krasnodar, down south. I don't want to go down south twice and have it wrong both times. But this, to me, does feel like we are a little bit south. Now, we don't see any hills or mountains to the south, so I don't think we're super far. But I am going to say we're somewhere in Krasnodar Oblast. Oh no, that doesn't make any sense to me with the knowledge I have. That's a real shame. Okay, well, we'll move on. Not been a good showing so far, but that's okay. This is interesting. The redness of this soil. What's the antenna like? This is a long A-type antenna again. Okay. So again, this could be far east or far west. I like far west here. With the red soil, I kind of like this being somewhere, maybe around here. Somewhere potentially close to St. Petersburg. I might go slightly further north, actually. Like, maybe around here. Could be one of these roads. With these trees, the antenna, the redness of the soil, I like this west coast area. Not west coast. There's no coast here. Well, I guess in some places. But yeah, this western area of Russia. I'm going to leave it there. Okay, good. I'm sad I moved slightly further away from St. Petersburg. But that's still a pretty good guess. I'm happy with that. It's the first good guess I've had in Russia. Speaking of good guesses, I think I have one lined up here. Because this is Gen 4 coverage, and it's winter coverage. Gen 4 winter coverage is in the south. So, a lot of the areas, like in the very south, around here, has winter coverage. And also, some areas, like dotted around here, near Volgograd, Rostov-on-Don, and then also a bit further north of that, there's Gen 4 winter coverage, I know, around Voronezh and Saratov, sort of this area I'm circling here. So I think the best guess I have here, looking at the terrain, I think we are pretty far south. I think we're further south in this area. I might go somewhere near Volgograd as a bit of a safe guess. Maybe I'll go slightly further south, I think. This feels like the best guess to cover off all the possibilities and get myself a good round 5 score. Okay, it was slightly further north. But again, still in the area I was including earlier, this circle. In a city called Borisodlebsk. So my final score with that one, 7.6k. Not great, obviously. The first 3 rounds were not good. I'll go again, see if I can get a better score. I already don't like this. Maybe I do. So this is Gen 4 coverage. Where could this be? Could this be somewhere like Omsk? I know Omsk has fully Gen 4 coverage. Kind of looks like this. But these mountains... This is not Omsk. These mountains are interesting. But I don't think these are the mountains down here, near the Caucasus. But I'm not sure where we are. Could we be somewhere like Irkutsk or Ulan-Ude? Oh, I do quite like Ulan-Ude here. There's a lot of Gen 4 coverage near Ulan-Ude, and with these hills, that actually makes a lot of sense. I might go through it. It feels a bit risky. It just clicked in the river. I'm not too sure on this one, I'll be honest. But I'm going to go for it. Oh my god, it was. That's huge. That's a huge guess. Yeah, Ulan-Ude is one of the oblasts that has a lot of Gen 4 coverage. Omsk is another one. Like I said, didn't feel like Omsk because of those mountains. So yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Okay, super happy with that one. Let's hope we can keep it going and get a good overall score. So the antenna on this one is a short A-type antenna. So we've already had one of these earlier, and I got it pretty wrong. I don't think my antenna knowledge was specifically wrong, but I think the guess was not good. So where do I go for here? With this landscape, I'm kind of thinking somewhere like Kaluga. The 3 places I mentioned earlier as being a short A-type antenna. Or Krasnodar. I don't think this is near Krasnodar. I don't think this is Orenburg either. I'm going to say this definitely is not Orenburg. But I like Kaluga here. I'm going to go a bit closer to Moscow. I think there are some other areas, like near Moscow with this antenna. But I'm not sure where they are exactly. I think this feels like a good, safe guess. Okay, it was the other side of Moscow. Near Yaroslavl. That's a pretty good score, 2.9k. Oh, this is one that's really going to test me. Okay. So this is Gen 4 coverage. No antenna. I'm pretty sure this is far east. This based on how dark the soil is with the mountains, the Gen 4 coverage. There's one series of roads. Starts down here, or like down here-ish. So this road, south of Yakutsk, all Gen 4 coverage. The road north of Yakutsk, I forget where it goes exactly. Also Gen 4 coverage. the roads west and east of Yakutsk, the road east going to Magadan, and the road west going to Murny, also Gen 4 coverage. This whole area basically here is Gen 4. Now, I don't know exactly where this is. I know we're somewhere in this area. With how dark the soil is, I'm thinking this might be near Magadan. I think we are east of Yakutsk. This could be one that's very wrong, but I feel good about going somewhere in this area. Oh my god, that's an insane guess. If I could pull a guess like this off in like a ranked duel, I would feel so good about myself. I still feel pretty good now getting that on camera. So the reason why I guessed over here is because, like I said, I was pretty sure it was either east or west of Yakutsk. And I know west of Yakutsk, this road here, between Yakutsk and Murny, often has like a really orange tint on the camera. There's like an orange haze present when a lot of the coverage was taken. So I didn't think we were west of Yakutsk. I know east of Yakutsk. I think this road, the main road here, is called the Kolyma Highway between Yakutsk and Magadan. I don't know if all of the road is named that, but I know some of it is, unless that's the west road. I think it's the east road. But we clearly weren't like fully in the mountains, like, so I knew we weren't like up here. I know there's a lot of that very dark soil in this area over here. I could have gone on the main road, but I saw this road here and was like, well, I think this road has coverage as well, and it's the right sort of direction, that northwest direction. So yeah, super happy with that guess. This is turning out to be an incredible game. I've reached 12,000 after only 3 rounds. Now round 4. The antenna is a short B type, one of the most common antenna. Doesn't really help me much. Yeah, there's a lot of places I feel like this could be. With this terrain, I know Novosibirsk has a short B-type antenna, but we could be over there, but I'm kind of thinking further west. Where I'm kind of thinking right now is somewhere near Chelyabinsk, maybe? Oh, as I say that, it's quite hilly though. It's relatively for Russia, this is pretty hilly. I wish I could read that sign, but unfortunately I cannot. I know Chelyabinsk has some of this antenna, so does Yekaterinburg, Tyumen. I might go somewhere around here. So does Orenburg, but I don't think we're that far south. So does Nizhny Novgorod. This could be a lot of places, I'll be honest. I'm not confident here. Okay, that was just near Moscow. I'm surprised it was that close to Moscow. But fair enough. I'll move swiftly on to round 5. The antenna, again, is a long A-type. Now this, to me... Again, long A-type. You can get far east, you can get far west. Get it in Novosibirsk, you can get it down here, or somewhere down here, I forget where exactly. I'm thinking this could be far west, somewhere near St. Petersburg again. This also could be far east, I'll be honest. I think it's one of the two, but I like far west more than I like far east here. Mostly because of the trees, I guess. I'm not great on trees. I don't really know how to describe. I don't know the names of trees and stuff. But these to me feel like the ones you see more on the far west compared to the far east. So I'm going to go somewhere pretty near St. Petersburg and hope for the best. Okay, not bad. It was the right part of the country, at least. Far west, between Moscow and St. Petersburg. So, 15.9k, no moving in Russia. Super happy with that. Most of my guesses were pretty close. Round 4, not so much. But the other 4 were very nice. So, what's my best score, I wonder, in no move Russia on this map? I wonder if that was my best. I don't think it was. I feel like I have done better. My best score is 18,000. Okay. I took slightly longer on that one, though. So, that was not too far away from my best score. I feel pretty good about that. Now, I think for now, I'm going to end this video here. I did say that I have 2 other countries that I want to go through as well, Brazil and Philippines. I think I'll save those for another time. These 2 I'm still not very good at, I'll be honest. I'm probably better at Russia and Indonesia than I am at Brazil or Philippines. These 2 are still very hard for me. But I feel like I've shown some of my knowledge off today. And hopefully maybe, taught you something about how to play Russia. Probably less so about Indonesia, I'll be honest. I'm still not great at it. But Russia, knowing the antenna is super useful. I will say the resource I've used to learn all of these countries is called Plunkett. I will link that in the description if you're interested on learning yourself. There's like a super useful guide for basically every country in the world of Geoguessr. Every country that has decent coverage, there is a very nice guide to give you hints about the landscape, about the meta, about the infrastructure. So I'll link that down below, and if you're interested on learning, then go ahead and use that resource. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.